that one on. I'll give you 10 seconds.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Is it on or off? You're going to control it?
It's on now.
I would welcome everyone to Ray Park in Manjimup, second semi-final. A little bit of IT difficulties as we join us halfway through this first quarter. And Kojonup 1-7, kicked the opening goal courtesy of Harry Taylor. Soccer off the ground in the goal square. And Deanmill got their first goal of the game. Had a few shots on goal there, 1-3-9. So 2 points of difference. 7.5 minutes to go in this first quarter. The ball's brought back into play. And it finds Kai McGinty for Deanmill, still deep inside defensive 50. Goes in the middle of the ground, dangerous kick looking for Brittany East. Spills out, they have the numbers here, but it carries over the top of Clark. It lands in the arms of Jared Edgar, puts it down in front of Blake Rawson inside 50. Will it sit up for him? He has Brent Clark for company. In they come now, ball's picked up. Mackenzie Green's there, free kick's given. And Abbott for Kojonup, the coach. Wins a free kick, deep inside defensive 50. He's going to go into the middle of the ground, has Jamie Marinoni all on his own. Plays on straight away. Goes wide and finds a ruckman in Ashton. Centre wing, Brad Ashton, the veteran ruckman, goes into the middle. Oh, he finds Smith. High tackle not awarded. Could have been. Comes over, back to Sparks. Drives the ball long to Edgar, who's finding himself on his own. He has Crook for company. Spins around now, has a shot on goal. And it goes through for a minor score. 1-4-10. Deanmill, 1-1-7. We're joined by our trusty cameraman, Cameron. Our esteemed Tiger legend, timekeeper, and Angelo Femia. Move closer into time on in this first quarter. Abbott brings the ball in, looking there for Tonkin. Tonkin takes a mark, free kick given, it comes over to Hayden. Wheels through the middle of the ground, looking for Taylor, gets rid of McGinty. Back comes Kai McGinty with the spoil. Now they have the numbers in the middle of the ground. One of them is Blake East, the skipper. Gets a handball out to Archie Hall, the ruckman, tries to knock it in front of McGinty. Now Taylor's there. Taylor versus McGinty. Taylor soccers the ball off the ground. In comes Lucif to help out. Misjudged the ball there. He's wrapped up with a tackle from East. Blake East for Deanmill. And the umpire will come in and throw the ball up just outside forward 50. With Deanmill holding a slender 3-point lead. 1-4-10. Ball's one out. Goes in a dangerous position. Over the top comes DeCampo. Tonkins front and centre. In comes Matt Marinoni. Runner up in the association medal. Back on its second effort. Back over to Tonkin. And he's wrapped up by Josh DeCampo and Nicholas Gleeson. The umpire will throw the ball up 40 metres out from Kojonup's goal. So 1 goal apiece. Late stages of this first quarter. Moving into time on. Over the top comes Hall. Wins it down to Sparks. The Sparks boys working well together. Cooper to Harley. Tries to get a clever handball over to Tempera. Misses his target. Has time to recover. Back to Decky. Back to Sparks. Handball back to Gleeson. He kicks it now. Puts Brittany East under pressure. In comes Marinoni, misses the ball, and the ball goes out of bounds right at the interchange gates. Centre wing, right in front of the commentary box. 3 points, Deanmill's lead. Late stage of the first quarter. Hall wins it down, direction of Blake East. Comes out to Tempera, Van Verhoosen's there. In comes Jamie Marinoni, over to Crook, who's been terrific in this first quarter. Gets a tap out to Abbott. Now Van Verhoosen's found some space. Closing in was Edgar. Van Verhoosen gets it onto his boot. In front of Lucif. Barber's been terrific in this first quarter on the elusive small forward. Lucif's there, Barber's there. Forces Lucif to push the ball over the boundary line. And the ball goes out 55 metres out from Kojonup's goal. Found a bit of space there, Van Verhoosen. Terrific effort by Barber. Hall wins it down, comes to the direction of Tonkin. In comes Hall. Matthew Marinoni's there. Boundary line's there. And it goes over the boundary line. Be thrown in 35 metres out from Kojonup's goal. Just over 4 minutes to go in this first quarter. Ball's chucked in. Ashton gets Hall out of the way. Gets clean possession. Gets a handball out to O'Shea. Snap on goal. It's going to land in the arms of young Kai McGinty, who takes a mark deep in defence. Crosses goal now and finds Harley Sparks. Harley Sparks, plenty of the footy in the first quarter, has players short. One of them is McGinty, and he receives it back. Still deep inside defensive 50. Young Kai McGinty. He's going to go long now, looking for Decky. And Decky takes a mark in front of Kyle Smith. Right on 50. Players short. And called to go long now. It's going to hug the boundary line, but it finds Brock Tempera in front of O'Shea. Tempera's got a lot of the footy early in this first quarter. Just pops it up right in front of the commentary box. Crook gets a push in the back, but takes a mark anyway. Goes short and finds O'Shea, who's had a terrific season. He has Van Verhoosen on the wing, in space, can play on. Goes short, puts Tonkin under pressure, but takes a terrific contested mark in front of Decky. He wields around now, drives the ball long, looking for Blakers. Over the back is DeCampo, picks the ball up. Has Barber there for support. Easter's there, Blake. No, that's McGinty, gets the handball over to Sparks. Harley has Reeve in the middle. Reeve can handball to Hall, goes longer to Cooper Sparks. Now they're out in the middle of the ground. Terrific kick. Edgar takes the second grab. Umpire doesn't pay it. Looked like he marked the ball. Apparently it was touched there by Clark of Kojonup, and the umpire will come in and throw the ball up right in the middle of the ground. 2.5 minutes to go in this first quarter. Hall wins it down easily. Smith's there. Cooper Sparks is there. Cuts through the pack and gets it out to Edgar. And he takes a mark. Still too far out to score. He's going to look for Strawn. He's got Green. Now they have some company there. One of them is Crook. Could have been Leg. Gets the ball back out to Green. Strawn's fighting hard. Handball over to Abbott. Tries to do a little bit too much. He's well tackled. The umpire sees it that way. And the free kick will go the way of Jared Edgar. He'll have a shot on goal from 35 metres out, tight angle. Looking for Deanmill second. And to push this margin out to 9 points as we close in on quarter time. Just under 2 minutes to go. They had the numbers there, Kojonup. Made a little bit of a mess of it. Crook put Abbott under pressure, resulting in a free kick. Terrific tackle by Edgar. In he comes now, the small forward for Deanmill. Puts it to the top of the square. Strawn in best position. But in front comes Abbott and pushes it through for a minor score. The 1 goal, 5-11. Bit wasteful in front of goal. Missed a couple of easy goals early in this quarter. Did Deanmill. Kojonup missed one as well. Ball wouldn't set up for Pethick deep in the goal square. And finding 1 goal apiece as the ball's brought in by Marinoni. Finds Smith. Smith goes outside 50 and finds Weasel. He's going to come right in front of the commentary box looking for Bellotti. He has Tempera there for company. In comes Abbott to help him out. Ducks his head. Umpire said that was high, and Travis Abbott wins a free kick. Plays on straight away. Goes over the top of Matthew Marinoni's head. First back there. Well, the free kick's paid again, and it's going to go the way of Hayden. As Marinoni ran onto the open ball, but no advantage paid. And Kyron Hayden, still 2 kicks out from goal. Lead from Blake as he's going to go long, looking for Taylor. Taylor gets himself in a good position. McGinty does well. In comes Luciv. It lands in the arms of McGinty. Turns around, drives it looking for Decky. And Decky with a height advantage takes a mark in front of Bellotti, just outside defensive 50. He's going to go to the middle of the ground, puts East under pressure. Across the front comes Pethick. He gets a handball out, back over to East. And now they're through the middle of the ground, courtesy of Sam Tempera. Edgar, who's been lively. They have the numbers here, but Jackson's first to the ball. Well tackled there by Hall. And Hall wins the free kick on centre wing. Terrific one-handed tackle on Jackson. And Archie Hall, the big ruckman for Deanmill, wins the free kick, centre wing. 5 seconds to go. Have they got time? He goes short and finds Brittany East. And there's the siren for quarter time. Deanmill going to the first quarter. 1 goal, 5-11. 4-point leaders over Kojonup. 1 goal, 1-7. Harry Taylor getting the only goal for Kojonup, and Brittany East responding halfway through that first quarter. So terrific game of footy. Play between the two half-back lines so far in that first quarter. Goals hard to come by, but terrific opening quarter. Kojonup used the ball really well. They controlled most of that quarter. They just couldn't get a score on the board. And Brittany East, the unlikely goal scorer, playing at centre-half forward today, spent most of his career at centre-half back, kicked the only goal for Deanmill. So we'll come back after quarter time. Deanmill 1 goal 5-11 to Kojonup 1 goal 1-7. Well, the umpire was stuck behind a car crash coming from Albany. The chopper was on the road, so we had a reserve umpire come on.
Oh, man.
He had a car from
Yeah.
So an awesome day. At least not fiddling down the road.
It's just a typical country football. Yeah, that's right.
So welcome back to Ray Park. Beautiful day for footy. 4-point leaders, quarter time. The Deanmill Hawks 1 goal 5-11. The Kojonup Cougars 1 goal 1-7. And Kojonup finished the qualifying season 2 games on top of the ladder. They're using the ball well so far. They just haven't got the score for it. And 1 goal apiece in beautiful conditions. Tackling's been tough. It's been a good game of footy so far. As we mentioned before the break, played between 2 half-back lines. I just want to, because we had a little bit of IT difficulties before we started, come halfway through. Tristan Mead, Matt Dodson and Ryan Tyndale are our central umpires for today. So congratulations to Ryan as adjudged umpire of the year. But Remo Posado and John McKenzie doing the goals. We have Josh Soroka, Blake Johnson, Zach Johnson, and Connor Brown doing the boundary. So all the best to them. Deanmill did win the toss, kick to the Manjimup end, or the scoreboard end for those people that know Ray Park well. The earlier games, Southerners booked their place in the grand final. They've only dropped one game in the Colts. 11 goals, 5-71 to Tigers, 1 goal, 8-14. The scoreline was large, but Tigers did play well. They just missed a few opportunities, especially in that first quarter, to put a bit of pressure on their more fancied opponents. And in the reserves, what a terrific game of footy. Deanmill jumped out to a 6-goal lead at half-time. But ended up being 6 points Deanmill's way. 8 goals, 6 to 7 goals, 8. So Deanmill booked their place in the grand final. And Bridgetown, well, they gave it everything. They just run out of time. They were right on top towards the end of the last quarter. Just couldn't get over the line. But what a terrific game of reserves footy. I'd like to thank our broadcast partners, Triple M Rocks Footy and Taliesin Lithium. We start this second quarter. Hall v Ashton. Hall doesn't go up for the ball and allows Ashton to take clean possession. It comes over to Kyle Smith, puts it down in front of Taylor. He's well tackled, manages to get a handball out to Weasel, pops it up towards Blakers. He's got Joshua Reeve for company. It goes over both their head and goes out of bounds, and the ball will be thrown in right on the point post, 15 metres out from Kojonup's goal. Not sure what was happening in the middle there. Ashton straight to Smith, and away they went with the first centre clearance of the second quarter. This time Tonkin does the ruck work. Over to Taylor. He'll snap on goal. Harry Taylor! And it's gone over the post. Geez, it looked good from here. Goal umpire in best position. Terrific effort from Taylor. Found himself with plenty of room. And it's gone through for a minor score. So the opening score of the second quarter is a behind to Kojonup as Sparks brings the ball in. Harley Sparks and finds Blake East. Centre wing, far side of the ground. Skipper for Deanmill. Goes long with that trusty left boot. Over the back was Gleeson. In comes Abbott. But the ball goes out of bounds. Be thrown in. Just left the centre. Deanmill's way. 1 goal, 2-8. The Cougars. 1 goal, 5-11. 3-point the margin. Ball's thrown in. This time Hall wins it over the back. Comes to Cooper Sparks. Gets a handball over to Edgar, who was terrific in that first quarter. He misses his target. Van Verhoosten's there. Snap off the ground there by Edgar. Strawn drops what he could have taken. Now they're in trouble down here, but they have the numbers, and out they come through Abbott. Umpire's seen a free kick. And it'll go back to Abbott. So not sure what that was about. They were away there, Kojonup. Has a player in the middle of the ground, and that's Smith. Started the game on the bench, but no one's picked him up since he come on. Has a bounce. Comes outside 50. Not sure who is kicking that to. First there is his teammate in Hayden. Tries to get around Reeve. Pushes him off with ease. Goes to 50. Looking for Taylor. Probably should have had a shot on goal. What can Taylor do? He's got Tonkin. Tonkin back to Taylor. This time can he snap truly? He snaps. This time it's gone through for a goal from Taylor. And Harry Taylor gets his second. And the opening goal of the second quarter goes away of the Cougars. And they go 3 points in front. Had the numbers there. Tonkin come in. Clancy Tonkin come in to help. A little bit of 1-2. Tonkin back to Taylor. And Taylor from 25 metres out snapped truly. Terrific effort in the middle of the ground by Hayden. He is a very strong individual. Reeve come in. No slouch himself. Got rid of him with ease. Probably could have had a shot on goal. But look for Taylor. In the end, they got the score they wanted. Up they go. Ashton wins it down. Smith's there once again. In comes Ashton. Just chucks it onto his boot. Playing in front is Luciv. And he takes a mark just outside 50. He's going to go wide. And Weasel takes a mark. Has Marinoni running for him. No one's running with him. They're just watching. He'll run into an open goal. Give it over to Taylor. This is number 3. Oh, he's missed it. He's missed his boot right in the goal square. Reeve put a bit of pressure on, and Taylor missed it completely. A let-off as De Campo brings the ball out, kicking to no one in particular. Cooper Sparks is there with Hayden. Over the back it comes to Edgar, who's been terrific. He goes down, and Abbott comes across in front of Brittany East and spoils the ball out of bounds, centre wing. Not sure what happened there. Hopefully we got that on camera, Cameron. But Harry Taylor, a rare mistake. Balls one over the back to Matthew Marinoni. He goes wide, finds Tonkin. He's going to run on. Short kick, looking for Weasel. Drops a mark he should have taken. DeCampo tries to corral him. Up they go, looking for Blakers. Goes over the top of his head. Tries to sock it off the ground. In comes Decky. And he wins the free kick. Deep inside defensive 50. Has players short if he wants them. Been called to play on now. Has to go long. Looking for Gleeson. But Gleeson slips over. And Charlie Tonkin takes the mark. Still too far out to score. Decides to go short. Looking there for Bellotti. But DeCampo comes in front of him and takes the mark. Goes down the line. And the big ruckman in Hall at ground level takes a terrific sliding mark. Plenty of advice right in front of the Kojonup interchange box. Been called to play on now. Nelly kicks into the man on the mark. It's an up and under. Over the back is Crook. Tries to smother it. In comes the skipper in Marinoni. Could have been taken without it. Umpire sees it that way. And Matt Marinoni receives the free kick. And he'll be getting plenty of advice because he's in front of the Deanmill interchange box. Terrific player, Marinoni. He's going to go short. Looking for Smith. Oh, he nearly wills in a one-hander. Now it spills out to Harley Sparks. Handball over to Tempera. Then to Gleeson. On his left boot. Misses his target. And at the back is Travis Abbott. Plays on straight away in the middle of the ground. And finds Jamie Marinoni. Marinoni's got Ashton running hard for him. He goes in that direction. Ashton cuts in front of Sparks. And takes the mark. They're running hard now. Goes wide and finds Crook. Van Verhoosen running for him. Will he use him? Being told to play on. Goes longer looking for Taylor. Taylor has metres on McGinty. Takes a mark at 45 metres out. He'll cross the 50. No pressure on the mark. Shot on goal from Taylor. Lucev's there. Barber's there. Barber makes a spoil. In comes Lucev. Forward roll. In comes Barber once again. Umpire lets it play on. In comes DeCampo for Deanmill. And takes the ball over the boundary line, 35 metres out from Kojonup's goal. They had players streaming down the far side of the ground. This time Hall wins the ruck knockdown. Hayden's first there. Has Smith, who's been terrific. He can have a shot on goal, Smith. It's trying to come around. It goes through for a minor score. 2 goals, 3-15. Kojonup, 1 goal, 5. Yet to put any score on the board in the second quarter so far. Deanmill, as Sparks will bring the ball back into play. Goes straight down the middle and finds Joshua Reeve. Handballs back to Sparks. Goes shorter and finds Harley Sparks. Just outside 50. He's going to go short. Once again looking for East. Across in front of him. Terrific spoil by Tonkin. He's got numbers now. One of them is Pethick. Back to Tonkin. Tries to kick on his right boot. Blakers has front position. The ball doesn't bounce kindly. Picked up by Reeve. Handball over to McGinty. He goes wide and finds Gleeson just outside defensive 50. Right in front of the commentary box. He's got Edgar. In front of him is Abbott. And Abbott uses his experience and height and takes the contested mark in front of Edgar. Goes inside with a dangerous kick and finds Tonkin. He plays on straight away, looking for Lucev. Across the front of him comes Barber, kicked off the ground by Marinoni. Deanmill have the numbers here. First back is Kester Decky. Has time to assess the situation, looking for Farquhar, but across in front comes Jamie Marinoni to affect the spoil. He's in there once again. They have the numbers, Kojonup. Tied the ball up. Does Marinoni. And the ball will be thrown up 30 metres out from goal. Kojonup's goal. And they hold a 3-point lead. 7 minutes into this second quarter. Dangerous position. This time Tonkin wins a ruck knock. Oh, Smith couldn't gather the ball. In comes Tonkin. Smith's still there. Can he soccer it off the ground? In comes Reeve. Knocks him off the ball. And rushed through for a minor score by DeCampo. Under pressure, the Deanmill back line. A couple of missed opportunities for Kojonup to increase this lead. 4 points the margin. 8 minutes into this second quarter. Sparks come out to go short. Carries over Farquhar to Clark. He just drops it onto his boot. But it finds Harley Sparks. Now Kester Decky's made a break for Deanmill. He'll play on straight away. Brittany East has plenty of time. In comes Abbott, gets around him with ease, decides to go short. It falls short of Strawn. Outside 50, now Kojonup have the numbers. Abbott comes in, Jackson's there. A big handball over to Marinoni. Now Kojonup are out. Player in the middle of the ground is Smith, and he takes the overhead mark, uncontested. Plays on straight away, drives the ball long, looking for Blakers, carries over him and his opponent in Reeve. Comes handball back from Taylor to Blakers. And Blakers on his left boot puts through another one for the Cougars. Mitch Blakers, terrific in that grand final a couple of years ago. 2 goals to 0. Deanmill haven't scored any score in this second quarter. 13 minutes to play. Terrific effort by Taylor. Blakers ran past after the initial contest on his left boot from 30 metres out. Made no mistake. 3 goals, 4-22 the Cougars. 1 goal, 5-11. 11-point lead. Still 13 minutes to play in this second quarter. This time Jackson does the ruck work. He's beaten by Hall. Hayden's there. He can handball over to Marinoni. Decides to go wider to Jackson. He gets around Sam Temper with ease. Tries to do a worm bird of the weasel. Goes past him. Now DeCampo for D-Mills there. Has Decky for support. Decky's there. Goes in the middle of the ground and has Gleeson. Gleeson has room. Has one bounce. Has another bounce through the middle of the ground. It's an average looking kick, but it ends up in the arms of Jordan Strawn. And he'll have a shot on goal from 45 metres out, directly in front, to get one back for the Hawks. The kick didn't look great from Gleeson, but he had plenty of time. Great lead by Strawn. Kicked nearly 80 goals this year. He's going to just cross 50. His shot on goal. Definitely got the distance in him. In he comes now, crosses 50. That's a great kick on goal from Strawn. He knows where the goals are, Strawn. So he gets himself on the scoreboard and reduces that margin back to 5 points. 12 minutes to go in the second quarter. Found some space. Terrific kick by Decky. Found Gleeson in the middle of the ground. 2 bounces. Wasn't the best spinning drop punt I've ever seen, but it found the chest of Strawn, and he made no mistake from 45 metres out. Ruck change, Archie Hall having a spell. Callum East goes into the middle. He'll be opposed by Jackson. Jackson gets up high. He wouldn't have been that high for a while. Hayden breaks through. Handball over to Shea. Over to Marinoni. Over to Bellotti. Looking there for Luciff. Gets his player out of the way. And out the back is Decky. And he takes a mark at ground level. Working overtime. Gets around Luciff on the mark. Goes right in front of the commentary box. Bellotti's there. Just dropped his head at the time, but recovers well. Wrapped up by Edgar. Umpire will come in and throw the ball up. Centre wing. 3 goals, 4-22 the Cougars. 2 goals, 5-17 Deanmill. Ruck knocks one down by East to Carly Sparks. It's kept in. Umpire doesn't see it that way. I think it might be James Johnson, the boundary umpire. Let's call that out. A little bit of howdy-do here between Marinoni and Sparks. Ball's thrown in. Jackson gets East out of the way. O'Shea hits it hard. Kicks it into open territory. Now it's a foot race. One of them is Peffick for Cougars. He's got 5 metres on Barber. Now Barber closes. Lays a terrific tackle. Handball away from Peffick. In comes Barber once again. And he's done well there, Rowan Barber, to tie the ball up. Centre wing, far side of the ground. The Cougars holding a 5-point lead. 11 minutes to go in this second quarter. No ruckman goes up for Kojonup, so East just takes it, puts it onto his boot. Marinoni's there, gets it over to Ashton. Ashton playing as a ruck rover now, puts Peffick under pressure. They have the numbers. O'Shea, Peffick, Jamie Marinoni. He goes wide, and Taylor takes a terrific mark in front of his eyes. Centre wing, plays on now around the man on the mark. Drives it long, over the back is Crook, gets his player under. It's Tonkin. He's got the numbers. Lucif's there. Snap on goal. Weasel v DeCampo. Weasel works his way around DeCampo and takes a chest mark. And he'll go back from 5 metres out and should put through another goal for the Cougars. Doesn't waste any time or energy. Jermaine Weasel, terrific chest mark. Puts through his first for the day. And Kojonup's third for the quarter. Did really well in mid-air. As he worked his way around to Campo and took a chest mark, and from 5 metres out, made no mistake, margin back out to 11 points. 4 goals, 4-28. That's Kojonup. 2 goals, 5-17. 10 minutes to go in this second quarter. I've got all the answers so far, the Cougars. They finished on top for a reason. This time Ashton's in the ruck, wins it down, but it comes to Sparks. Harley over to Cooper, gets a handball back out to Harley. Handball to Tempera, he'll cross 50. It's all about the bounce, and it goes through for a goal. The instant response within 30 seconds goes the way of Brock Tempera. Wasn't the best looking kick, had the distance, just crossed 50. Terrific effort out of the middle of the ground by the Sparks twins. Harley Cooper, back to Harley, handball to Tempera. And from 50 metres out, puts it through for a goal. Margin back to 5 points. 3 goals 5 to 4 goals 4. This game is really livened up in the second quarter. Still plenty of time to go before half time. Up they go. Ashton runs past the ball, so did East. It comes back to Ashton, playing as the big ruck rover. Handball out to Demetrio, comes over to O'Shea. Kick is smothered. Barber works Lucif underneath the ball, then gets the ball back. Handball out, and Deanmill are out again. Sparks goes short to Demetrio. He takes a mark and holds it up centre wing, far side of the ground. Developing into a nice player, Ethan Demetrio. Goes long now. In front. He's the skipper, not the skipper, the coach in Abbott. And he takes a terrific overhead contested mark. Plays it now, goes long on the far side of the ground. Marinoni, if he keeps this in, he does. Wields around, drives it long, looking for Tonkin. And over the back, Clancy Tonkin takes the mark. Probably too far out to score for Tonkin. Has a player short. That's O'Shea. Now he just pops it up. Taylor gets himself in front. Lets Hayden go through. He'll run into an open goal. And Kyron Hayden gets his name on the scoreboard. Great effort there by Taylor. Knew what was going on. Allowed Hayden at full pace to hit that running. And he made no mistake. Ran into an open goal. And that's their fourth for the quarter. And this margin's back out to 11 points. Hayden just does good things at the right time. Very explosive pace. But Taylor, that was a terrific kick by Tonkin. Taylor pushed his opponent back and then allowed Hayden to hit that at full pace. And he ran into an uncontested open goal and made no mistake. So 5 goals, 4-34. The Cougars. 3 goals, 5-23. 4 goals in this second quarter. Deanmill kick 2. Ashton wins it down once again towards O'Shea. Umpire's seen a free kick. And it's going to go the way of O'Shea in the middle of the ground. Handballs over to Blakers. They're playing on at all cost. Puts it short, looking for his skipper and Marinoni. Gets a great bounce, wheels around, comes into the middle of the ground and finds Lucif right on 50. Probably too far out to score. Goes short, looking for Taylor. And on the second grab in front of McGinty, Harry Taylor takes the mark. He'll go back and have a shot on goal from 30 metres out, directly in front. And he's going for his third. Probably should have had 4. Just had a little bit of a moment early on in this quarter where the ball didn't actually hit his boot from the top of the goal square. But he's been involved in most of the goals so far for his team. Harry Taylor, deliberate shot on goal, 30 metres out. He makes no mistake, there's Taylor. And he puts through his third. And that margin now increases to 17 points. 6 goals, 4-40. Kojonup, 3 goals, 5-23. 17 points the margin. Still with nearly 8 minutes to go in this second quarter. Ashton's been terrific in the middle of the ground, playing a ruckman, ruck rover style. O'Shea's starting to get his hands on the footy. Cole Smith has been terrific since he's come onto the ground, started the game on the bench. But so far they have all the answers. East takes his eye off the ball. Ashton just takes it clean possession, puts it down towards Hayden. He's got De Campo there. Now it's in front of Hayden. What can he do from here? Joshua De Campo puts the tackle on. Handball Verhoosen over to Weasel. Back to Van Verhoosen. They have the numbers. Taylor's one of them. Puts it towards Tonkin. They have the numbers here. Deanmill. It comes to McGinney. Tempera. Decky. Decky tries to go through a gap that no one's seen. Well tackled there by Hayden. Lucky to get away with that one. The ball goes out towards Blake East. And it goes over the boundary line. Just for the centre. Lucky there, Kestadecki. That was a terrific tackle by Hayden. Probably should have been rewarded. The ball finds centre wing. Covers the ruckman. Comes over to Sparks. Tries to handball to Tempera. Playing advantage. Cooper Sparks. Gets it over to Sam Tempera. Handball wide to Harley Sparks. Puts him under pressure. But he's good enough to get around. Goes in the middle of the ground and finds Blake Rawson. He goes wide and finds Blake East. He's going to look for Strawn. And Strawn has some metres on Mackenzie Green and takes the mark. And will have a shot on goal from 45 metres out. Tight angle to get one back for the Hawks. 17 points the margin. 6-4-40. 3-5-23. And Strawn will go back. Probably their best passage of play so far. Deanmill found some space in the far side of the ground. In he comes now, Jordan Strawn. Kick towards the goal. I think it's just a little bit narrow and it's gone through for a minor score. A good setup there by the Hawks. Ball's brought back into play and Luciv takes the mark in front of Farquhar for Deanmill. He moved into the middle of the ground now, Luciv. Done this a couple of weeks ago. Decides to go right in front of the commentary box looking for Ashton. Could have been pushed under the ball. It favours Marinoni. Tries to go to Weasel. He has players there. One of them is Marinoni. Receives the handball. Tonkin in best position. Over the back is Taylor. Taylor's going to run into another open goal. And he's got 4. Harry Taylor, using all of his experience, gets his opponent underneath the footy. Doubled back. And runs into an open goal from 5 metres. Harry Taylor, 3 goals for the second quarter, 4 for the game. Proving to be a real headache down forward. And no good matchup for them so far, the Hawks. As Taylor kicked for himself and set up a couple more. Terrific effort by the veteran. And this margin now out to 22 points, 7 goals for. 6 goals in the second quarter to Kojonup, 2 to Deanmill. Jackson this time. Hall wins the ruck knockdown. Comes to Cooper Sparks. Gets a handball over to Tempera. Back to Hall. Over to Harley Sparks. On his left boot. Decides to go short. Misses his target. And it's cut off by Jamie Marinoni for the Cougars. Beautiful looking kick. And he finds that man Smith. Player running for him in Bellotti. Jackson short. Gets around the player on the mark with ease in Tempera. Now he's going to go long. He's going to look for Tonkin. That's going to land short. And Decky's in front. Takes the relieving mark. He's going to go into the middle of the ground and find Cooper Sparks. Has a player wide in Tempera. He's found some space on the far side of the ground. Can have a bounce. Decides not to. Chased down by Lucem. Looking for Strawn. Over they come now. One of them is Green. Jamie Marinoni's there for Cougars. Could have been taken high. Umpire doesn't see it that way. He'll come in and throw the ball up 40 metres out from Deanmill's goal. Still 5 minutes to play in this second quarter. Jackson versus Callum East this time. Comes back to Jackson, just chucks it onto his left boot. Cooper Sparks misses what he should have taken, puts himself under pressure, tries to get the handball over to Hall. He's tackled by Hayden. Handball back out to Tempera. They're under pressure here, the Hawks. Over to De Campo. Decides to be cute, misses his target. And all he's done is find Matthew Marinoni, the skipper, on the far side of the ground. And Matthew Marinoni, runner-up in the Association medal a couple of nights ago. Terrific player. Looks in the middle of the ground. And Hayden takes a terrific contested mark in front of DeCampo. He decides to go long, calls his player in, has a player there in Crook. They spoiled each other. Crook and Smith. Comes over to Farquhar. Handball over to Decky. Puts him under pressure. Umpire says play on. Soccer in the middle of the ground. Finds Brock Tempera. Now he's got a player wide. That's Hall. Will it sit for him? It sits for the big fella. In comes Van Verhoosen. Puts it into the middle of the ground. Marinoni in best position. And on the second grab, takes a mark inside defensive 50. Got a player wide. And that's Clark. He's got room to move. Assess the situation. Goes short and finds Mitch Blakers. He plays on with ease. No pressure on the mark. Goes long right in front of the commentary box. Weasel's outnumbered 2-1. Weasel's done well. Tackled there by Reeve. Puts him off his kick. Now Cooper Sparks picks it up. Goes into the middle of the ground. Marinoni comes and makes an effective spoil. Could have been tackled without it, Marinoni. That's Jamie. And the umpire says that's correct. Plays on straight away. Middle of the ground. And finds his coach in Abbott. A handball over to Matthew Marinoni, the skipper. Goes short and finds Bellotti. Crook's running for him. Running into open space. Should use him. Plenty of room here for Crook. Goes over his head. Bad kick there by Bellotti. Brings Decky into play. And it's come off his boot and gone out of bounds. So a let off there for Kojonup. Crook will bring the ball in short. Tries to be cute with it. Looking for Hayden. Puts him under pressure. And the umpire will come in and throw the ball up as Brittany East has pushed back now to accompany Taylor. It's a good move by the coaching staff for Deanmill. Throwing up 30 metres out from Kojonup's goal. Tonkin wins it down. Taylor's there. Gets a kick off the ground. Smothered puts it in a dangerous position. In comes Pethick. Now they have the numbers, Deanmill. One of them's Luciv. DeCampo for Deanmill. Luciv for Kojonup. Umpire will throw the ball up 20 metres out from Kojonup's goal. 22 points in front. Deep into this second quarter. Harley Sparks picks it up. But all he's done is hit Marinoni. He can have a shot on goal, Marinoni. Goes onto his left boot. This is going to land into a nest of Deanmill players. And one of them is Decky. And he takes the mark. Weasel outnumbered 3-1. And Decky was there right on the goal line to take the mark. He goes short and finds Sparks. Comes inboard. That's Cooper looking for Harley Sparks. He's spoilt there by Luciv. Now they're under pressure once again. Over to Sparks. Cooper to Harley. Just drives it long. Crooks there with Edgar. Edgar goes to the mark. Spills down. In comes Jamie Marinoni. Soccers it off the ground. Tries to do it again. They have the numbers. Crook handballs to Pethick. Pethick over to the skipper. Matthew Marinoni looking for Taylor. And Taylor takes the mark 45 metres out from goal. And he'll go back for his fifth and the fourth of this second quarter. Terrific effort from Jamie Marinoni. His closing speed, socking it off the ground. Crook has been terrific. And the skipper assessed the situation. And Taylor will go back 40 metres out. Nearly directly in front. Going for his fifth. Proving to be a real problem, Harry Taylor. Crosses the 50 now. In he comes. Hasn't got much of that. Has it done enough? Just hit that a little bit thin. It didn't sound too good from here. And a let off for Deanmill as it goes through for a minor score. 7 goals 5, 47. 3 goals 6, 24. The ball's brought back into play. Finds Cooper Sparks to Reeve. Back to Cooper Sparks. Goes in the middle of the ground. And Brittany East takes the mark. Right at centre half back. Plays on. Runs himself into a bit of trouble. Now he's been smothered on the mark by Marinoni. The handball tries to come back out to him. Soccer off the ground to Tonkin. Umpire's seen a free kick. It's going to go away, the skipper for the Cougars in Marinoni, who's been terrific in this second term. Has Taylor wide. No one runs with him. Taylor's too far out to score. Wheels around. Good looking kick. Looking for Weasel. Couple for company. Comes over to Bellotti. Handball elusive. Gets around the player on the mark. Does he? No. Terrific tackle by Barber. Saved a certain shot on goal. Wins the free kick deep inside 50. Looking there for East on the far side of the ground. And the big fella, Callum East, takes out a couple of spectators and a couple of cars at the same time. But he's been awarded the mark, has he? No, it's gone out of bounds on the full. A little bit of collateral damage on the far side of the ground, and Josh Crook will take the relieving free kick for the Cougars. And that's half time. So went forward inside 50 once again. The Cougars, 6 goals second quarter, 7 goals 5-47. 23 points the lead, 3 goals 6-25. Harry Taylor with 4. Mitch Blakers, Jermaine Weasel, Kyron Hayden with 1 apiece. And for Deanmill, Brittany East got the opening goal for them in the first quarter. Strahan and Brock Tempera with 1 apiece. But they have all the answers so far with their pressure and commitment to the team play. And they'll take a 23-point lead into the second half to look to book themselves a spot in the grand final in 2 weeks' time. Goals. Welcome back to Ray Park. Beautiful day for footy. Kojonup, the side that finished on top of the ladder throughout the qualifying season, well, they kicked 6 goals to 2 in that second quarter, and they take a 23-point lead going into the second half. 7 goals 5, 47 to 3 goals 6, 24. I'd like to acknowledge our broadcast partners, Taliesin Lithium and Triple M Rocks Footy. But terrific second quarter of footy. They probably could have had a couple more where Taylor missed one from the goal square. But their pressure is relentless, especially when Deanmill come out of the back line. They're cutting it off. They don't cut it off at one line. As soon as it gets to the half back line with Abbott and Jamie Marinoni, the ball's repelled and it comes back with interest. Tompkins providing a really good foil there down forward for Harry Taylor. So he's just doing the right things. Crook has been terrific as well, playing down back. But overall, their teamwork is outstanding. Weasel come on, started on the bench along with Kyle Smith, and those two have had their fair share of the footy in the first half, with Weasel kicking a terrific goal after a terrific contested mark. And Deanmill will have to make some changes. Decky's been good down back. Rowan Barber's had a terrific game. But the pressure has just been relentless across the whole field. And they're going to take a 23-point lead and see if they can be the first team to book themselves a spot in this year's grand final. And if they do, there'll be 3 grand finals in a row they'll be contesting. The umpires are just about to start the second half here. So it looks like Reeve has gone into the centre. And away we go. Second half footy. Ball's thrown up. Ashton wins it down. Comes to Cooper Sparks. He's going to get the first clearance in the second half. Easter's moved forward. Blake, that is. And he takes a mark right on 50. The skipper for the Hawks. He's going to go short. Looking wide there for Demetrio. Demetrio slides along the ground. And he'll have the opening shot inside the first 30 seconds on goal. Ethan Demetrio, 45 metres out. Slight angle. Knows where the goals are. Terrific young player, played every game of league so far this year. It's a great pass from Blake East, the skipper. Terrific clearance. So Ethan Demetrio crosses 50 now. Going to kick from about 45. In it comes. It's a good-looking kick on goal from Demetrio. And the opening goal of the second half goes away of the Hawks. And they move to 4-6-30 and close that margin to 17 points. Terrific clearance by Sparks. Found East on a searching lead. And he looked forward. And Demetrio slid across the turf. Took a terrific mark. And made no mistake from 45 metres out. But just what they needed, the Hawks. Made a few positional changes. They're not out of this game. They're just got to make the most of their opportunities. Hall wins it down once again towards Sparks. Could have been taken without it. Umpire sees it that way, and Cooper Sparks will take the free kick right in the middle of the ground. Looks like Reeve has gone to Matthew Marinoni to try and quell his influence in the middle of the ground. Being called to play on now, goes on his left boot and finds East inside the centre square. Blake East, that is. He goes long with that left foot. He's looking there for Strawn. Lands in front of him. He can handball back to Edgar. Goes further to Farquhar. Now to Edgar. Gets onto his left boot. In comes Marinoni and makes a spoil. Now they're out. Farquhar's there. And the ball's gone out of bounds. Right in front of the scoreboard. Reads 4 goals, 6-30 to Hawks with the opening goal of the third quarter. And Kojonup 7 goals, 5-47. Hall comes over the top, wins the ball down towards Farquhar. But it's wrapped up right at centre half back. O'Shea's there. Matthew Marinoni's there. Jackson picks himself up. Ashton wins the ball down, wins it back, picks it up off the ground. Terrific effort by the ruckman. Weasel tries to get the handball over to Hayden, misses his target, comes to Gleeson, just chucks it onto his boot. Crook's there, gets a bad bounce, comes over to Blake East, handball over to Tempera, play on advantage. He goes wide, and he'll find Edgar. Just as Jamie Marinoni was coming in for the spoil, and Jared Edgar will go back from 35 metres out for back-to-back goals to the Hawks. We've started well in this third quarter. Kojonup haven't been inside 50 so far. Only a couple of minutes in. And Jared Edgar found himself a lot of space today. and this will reduce the margin back to 11 points. In he comes now. Distance shouldn't be a problem. Goes across the face of goal. Strawn's there. Goes across his hands and through for a minor score. So a let off there for Kojonup. Marinoni will bring the ball back in. Has a player short if he wants him, and he uses him, and that's Mackenzie Green. He's got no one on him. Decides to play on. Not sure what to do. Now he goes long. Decky in best position. Comes across the front. Could have been paid the mark. Handball over from Weasel to no one in particular. Gleason's there. He was looking for Hayden. Gleason misses his mark. Over the back to Bellotti. Drops what he should have taken. And the ball spilled out of bounds. Under pressure from Tempera there was Bellotti. Should have wrapped that mark up. Be thrown in right in front of the Kojonup coach's box. Ball's thrown in. Favours Ashton. Gets it down towards O'Shea. Reeve cuts it off. Over to Harley Sparks. Handball to Cooper Sparks. He'll go short to Strawn. Carries over his head. Strawn comes back. Has a player out wide if he needs him. In comes Strawn once again. Green's there. Edgar's there. Demetrio's there. Tonkin's there. In comes Blake East. Affects the spoil. Now the handball comes out to Marinoni. Handball over to the coach in Abbott. And he goes wide and finds Green. They've done well. Under pressure. Green goes wide looking for Hayden. Gets pushed under the ball by Farquhar. In comes Pethick. Won by Farquhar. Will's inside looking for Demetrio. And he puts the mitts up and takes a terrific overhead mark. And we'll have another shot on goal from 45 metres out. Going for his second. And once again to reduce his margin, this time to 10 points. Well done on the far side of the ground by Ben Farquhar. Had 2 to beat. Come in board and found Demetrio. In he comes now, Ethan Demetrio. Deliberate shot on goal. Umpire does not move. It's gone through for a behind. Looked like it went straight over the goal umpire's hat. So another let off there for Kojonup. And they'll try and reload. Haven't been inside 50 early stage of this third quarter. 4 minutes in. And Jamie Marinoni with the kicking duties. Terrific kick of the footy. Plays on now. Has a bounce. Has 2 bounces. Could have a third if he wanted to. Runs his full measure. Goes wide. And finds Abbott on the far side of the ground right in front of the scoreboard. Has players short if he wants him. Goes long. Met there by Blake Rawson. Looking there for Weasel. Weasel nearly could have been paid the mark. Comes over to Gleason. But he's well wrapped up by Weasel and Hayden. The umpire will come in and throw the ball up centre wing with Kojonup holding a 15-point lead. Early stage of this third quarter. One down by Hall. Puts it in the direction of Harley Sparks. Gets a handball over. Comes off the chest of Jamie Marinoni. And on centre wing, far side of the ground, the ball will be thrown in once again. This time Ashton gets front position. Over his shoulder comes Hall, spills out in the direction of Weasel, who's been good since he come on, just chucks it onto his boot. Tonkin's there, Kester Decky's there, gets the handball over to Gleason, puts him under pressure, has a soccer, has another fresh airy. That's 2 for the day. The first one cost a goal, comes back to Archie Hall, but he just chucks it onto his boot and finds a fellow number 26 in the coach in Travis Abbott. He goes short, puts Marinoni under pressure. Sport by Reeve, comes over the back to Tempera, finds East in space, gets around his player with ease in green, goes short, and he finds Strawn. A little bit of pressure from Jamie Marinoni, and Jordan Strawn will go back from 40 metres out directly in front to go back to reduce this margin to 9 points. A little bit of tempers flared there. Nothing to see from here, from this position. Jamie Marinoni trying to affect the spoil, but Strawn took the mark. So the power forward, going for his second, 45 metres out, directly in front. In he comes now. Deliberate shot on goal. Straight over the umpire's hat. And Deanmill get another one back. Strawn puts through his second. That's Deanmill's second of the third quarter. And this margin's back to 9 points. Now 7 goals, 5:47. 5 goals, 8:38. reduce this margin. They've come out all guns blazing in this third quarter of the Hawks. They had to do something, and Kojonup haven't been inside forward 50 in this opening 7 minutes of this third quarter, finding it really hard to get the ball down their end. They've blocked all their avenues off going forward, have Deanmill. A couple of run-with players. Farquhar's been terrific. Tempera as well. The margin now 9 points. This time Ashton wins it in the middle. Both ruckmen go up. Hall uses his height, comes over to Harley Sparks. He's well tackled. Umpire says that's a great tackle. I need to reward that. And it goes the way of Hayden for Kojonup. Hayden has players running past him. Player wide if he wants him. Uses him. Crooks drops the mark. Puts himself under pressure. In comes Edgar. Puts pressure on the kick. Over towards Van Verhoosen. Over the top of him comes Brock Tempera for Deanmill. Makes an effective spoil. And the ball goes out of bounds. Just left to centre. Kojonup's way. They still hold a 9-point lead. Early stages of third quarter. Hall wins it down again. Comes back to Van Verhoosen. All on his own. This time they've just gone inside 50. Decky in front. 1, 2, 3, 4 grabs. Could have been paid the mark. Looked like he'd done enough. Handball out to De Campo. Gets a handball over. Misses his target. It comes to Tonkin. Playing in front is that man Taylor. And Harry Taylor will go back from 40 metres. Decides to pass. Comes in board and finds Kyle Smith. He'll have a shot on goal. 45 metres out. Directly in front. To get their first score of the third quarter and get one back for the Cougars. Harry Taylor, I've seen him kick goals from outside 50. Unselfishly look for Smith, who's been terrific since he come on. And he'll have a shot on goal directly in front from around 45 metres out. Enough pressure on the far side of the ground to turn that handball over, and Tonkin looked for Taylor and found him. In comes Smith. Kyle Smith, terrific player. Deliberate shot on goal. Makes the umpire work. And a let off there for the Hawks. It only goes through for a minor score. The opening score of the third quarter is only a minor score behind. 7 goals, 6, 48. A 10-point lead. 5 goals, 8, 38. The Hawks. And they have the only 2 goals of this third quarter. Sparks plays on straight away. Goes right up the middle. Smith cuts across in front of Tempera. Over to Cooper Sparks. Back to Brock Tempera. And he finds Blake East on the wing. Plays on straight away. Has Demetrio. And he takes another mark at ground level. Too far out to score this time, Ethan Demetrio. He's put it to the top of the square. He does so. Strawn's there. Gets his player out of the way. And Strawn takes a chest mark. And we'll have a shot on goal from 5 metres out. Tight angle. Terrific kick by Ethan Demetrio. Favoured Jordan Strawn. And he'll run around and have a shot on goal, going for his third, and Deanmill's third of the quarter. This margin runs around now, snaps on goal, and he makes no mistake to Strawn. So 3 goals to 0, early stages of this third quarter, and that margin's now back to 4 points. Demetrio being the real target near the 50-metre line, got a goal himself and set up 2 more. Put that in a perfect position for Strawn to use his body, and he made no mistake from 5 metres. So 6 goals, 8, 44. 8 goals, 6, 48. And it's game on once again. Still 11 and a half minutes to play in this third quarter. And Kojonup have only scored 1 behind. So they'll look to reset here. Play back in the middle of the ground. Hall wins it down. Goes over the top. Cooper Sparks is there, knocks it away from Van Verhoosen, gets a handball back out to Reeve, back to Harley Sparks, goes short and finds a chest of Strawn in front of Green. And Strawn will go back from 45 directly in front for his 4th and miss to put the Hawks in front. Terrific work in the middle. Hall, Sparks, Reeve, back to Sparks. Strawn led. And he knows where the goals are. He'll just cross 50. Jordan Strawn crosses it now. 45 out. Deliberate shot on goal. Umpire does not move. And the Hawks have hit the front. as Strawn kicks his fourth. Terrific effort. 7 goals, 8. 8 goals, 6. 4 goals to nil in this third quarter. And Deanmill are all over their opponents so far, who held a 23-point lead going into the half and have only scored 1 behind. So terrific work in the middle of the ground. Reeve has gone to Matthew Marinoni to try and quell his influence. And just for a spell now goes to Hayden. Cooper Sparks has picked up Marinoni, but they're on top in the middle of the ground. Way we go again. This time Jackson wins it down. It comes to that man Marinoni. He's wrapped up by Reeve. The umpire will come in and throw the ball up in the middle of the ground once again. 6 goals, 8.50 the Hawks. 7 goals, 6.48 the Cougars. Ball knocked out of the hands. Comes to Sparks. Over to Hall. Wheels onto his left boot, but he's sport bowled Jackson. Lee Lucif just drops it onto his boot. DeCampo in best position. Oh, it's all about the bounce. Bounces towards Tonkin. Has Taylor out wide. He'll give it back to Tonkin. They've mucked it up once again. In they come. Gleason's there. A free kick's been paid. Sockering in danger, possibly. And Taylor unselfishly put Tonkin under pressure, but he'll go back for the top of the square. Clancy Tonkin. And this to give the Cougars back the lead. In he comes now, Tonkin. Deliberate shot on goal. He makes no mistake. And the lead changes once again as Tonkin gets their opening goal of the third quarter and gives them back the lead. 8 goals, 6.54. 7 goals, 8.50. Cougars in front. Terrific effort. Great smother in the middle of the ground by Jackson. Lucif found himself with the ball. Drove it forward. Taylor found some space. Unselfishly gave it to Tonkin. Handball just missed him by a fraction. Put him under pressure. Free kick awarded. Made no mistake. Top of the goal square. Ball in the middle. Comes to Sparks. Tries to get the handball over to Reeve. Marinoni's there. They're under pressure. In comes Reeve once again. Wrapped up by Bellotti and Matthew Marinoni. And the umpire will come in and throw the ball up inside the centre square. Kojonup's way. Hall wins it down. Could have been pushed out of the way illegally. Umpire says, exactly right, Weave. You should have been an umpire. Archie Hall. Lanky left footer. Looking for Strawn. 3-1 Strawn! Strawn over the top of Clark. 3-1 takes a terrific mark. And he'll go back from 35 metres out. Going for his 5th and 4th of the third quarter. What a mark, Strawn. Jordan Strawn, outnumbered. Deliberate shot on goal. He's directly in front, the power forward. In he comes now. He makes no mistake. What a mark and goal from Strawn. And the Hawks hit the front. 4 goals in this third quarter to Strawn. That was Femia-like, that mark. Over the top, 3-1, outnumbered, had to sit. Terrific mark, and he made no mistake. 8 goals, 8 now. 8 goals, 6. Kojonup, 2 points to lead. The way of the Hawks. They've kicked 5 in this third quarter. And Kojonup have only managed 1. Hall wins it again in the middle. Comes towards Reeve. Gets a handball over to Hall. Just sockers it off the ground. Marinoni in best position. Tries to go short to his brother. All he's done is hit Cooper Sparks. Marinoni's back in there again, the skipper. In comes his brother Jamie trying to get the handball out. Tempera could have been taken high. Brock Tempera. Umpire sees it that way, and in the middle of the ground, Brock Tempera takes the mark. He goes wide and finds Joshua Reeve. He's got a player right in Sam Tempera, and he takes the mark. Still 2 kicks out from goal. Player short in Demetrio, who's been terrific in that third quarter. Just outside 50, has Strawn out one-on-one. Should go that way. He does so. Strawn, body work. Strawn! Strawn gets rid of Green with ease. And he's going to go back for his 5th in the third quarter, top of the goal square. And this to extend the margin to 8 points. He's going for goal number 6. Jordan Strawn. In he comes now. Should be no problem for the key forward. No problem at all. Goal number 6. Goal number 5 in the third quarter to Strawn. Terrific setup once again by Ethan Demetrio. One out in the goal square. Strawn used his body and experience. Made no mistake. Green's no slouch either. And he's kicked his 5th of the third quarter. 6 for the game. And the margin's out to 8 points. So 9 goals 8. 8 goals 6, 54. 9 goals 8, 62 the Hawks. 23 points down at the half. 8 points up. 7.5 minutes to go. Ball in the middle. It's won by Ashton. Comes back to him. He's wrapped up by Hall and Reeve. And the umpire will come in and throw the ball up once again. Ashton tries to get Hall out of the way. Hall wins it. Goes to Tempera. O'Shea lays a heavy tackle. And the umpire will come in once again and throw the ball up. Ruckman go at it again. This time Ashton takes clean possession. Handballs over towards Luciv. Barber knocks it out to Tempera. Over to Gleeson. He goes wider and finds Jared Edgar. He ain't called to play on now. He'll have to go inboard. He does so and finds Harley Sparks. Has a player in the middle of the ground looking for Hall. Ashton tries to cut it off. Might have got a fingernail on it. Comes to Harley Sparks. Just drops it onto his boot. All he's done is find Abbott. He's got to go wide. Looking for Van Verhoosen. He's going to have Tempera for company. Gets a nice bounce. Up and under. Over the back is Decky. In comes Abbott. Gets a handball over to Smith. They're under pressure now. Rawson's there for Deanmill. Handball over to Tonkin. The boundary line wins right in front of the interchange gate. And be thrown in right in front of the commentary box. 9 goals, 8, 62 the Hawks. 6 goals in this third quarter. 8 goals, 6, 54. The Cougars with just the one. Ashton tries to win it over the back. Comes to Marinoni. Over to Hall. Back to the skipper, Matthew Marinoni. He's wrapped up by Josh DeCampo. Umpire will come in and throw the ball up. Everyone earning their keep today. Hall wins it down towards Cooper Sparks. Handball over to Harley Sparks. Cuts through the middle of the ground. Demetrio's found plenty of space. He can run to 50. Assess the situation. Oh, it's a terrible kick. Tried to be a little bit too cute. Comes in the arms of Jamie Marinoni. Abbott's there. Demetrio comes in with a second effort. Wraps him up. Umpire will throw the ball up. 55 metres out from Deanmill's goal. Been terrific, Ethan Demetrio. Probably had too much time there to assess the situation. Ball thrown up. Comes towards Bellotti. Brock Tempera's there. Pressure's on. They have the numbers. O'Shea's there. Brock Tempera outnumbered 3-1. Where's his help? In comes Edgar. Picks it up. He's wrapped up straight away by O'Shea. And the ball once again. Far side of the ground. 8 points to lead the way of the Hawks. Will be thrown up. Hall's been terrific in this quarter. Ashton this time wins it down. Hayden's there. Couldn't get a handle on it. Comes back to Tempera. Wrapped up by Blakers of Kojonup. And 80 metres out from goal. Thrown up. Hall wins it down. Comes towards Hayden. Spills out in the tackle. Far side of the ground. Trying to get the ball out. Hayden's there. Tempera's there. And now the umpire's there. And in the same position, another ball up. Ashton this time wins it down. Hayden couldn't get a handle on it. This time he does. Just drives it long on the far side of the ground. But it's gone out of bounds on the full. And Decky will bring the ball back in for the Hawks. Been good, Decky. Goes into the middle of the ground looking for East. He could have been pushed out of it. Umpire doesn't see it that way. And Clark takes the mark. The big fullback for the Cougars. Goes in the middle of the ground to Smith. He'll go short and find Taylor. Taylor will go short to looking for Blakers. Makes him work a little bit. But Mitch Blakers takes the mark right in the middle of the ground. Has players running for him. One of them is Van Verhoosen. Over the back. Trying to go over the back, but in front is Rowan Barber, who's been terrific. Goes wide. Looking for Sam Tempera. Ball bounces in front of him. Now Van Verhoosen comes in. Gets a handball over to Crook. Just chucks it onto his boot. In front of Matthew Marinoni. And all he can do is see the ball over the boundary line. 50 metres out from their goal. Deanmill have been on top in this third quarter, 4.5 minutes to play. 6 goals to 1, 5 to the power forward Strawn. One of them from a terrific mark of the day. Spills out to Sparks, Harley, handball over to Sam Tempera. Play on advantage, no advantage. Ball to be brought back as Harley Sparks was dealt with after he got rid of the footy. And he'll take the free kick, still inside defensive 50. Players running for him, can switch play if he wants to. Decides to go that way, finds DeCampo. He's got Brittany East on the far side of the ground. He uses him, finds him with a terrific kick, and he takes a mark in front of Taylor. He comes inboard looking for Demetrio. Dangerous kick. They're outnumbered 5 to 1. One of them is Taylor. Handballs over to Hayden. Puts him under pressure. That's a terrific tackle from Decky. Not rewarded. Taylor put Hayden under pressure. They had the numbers there, Kojonup. The ball thrown up 35 metres out from their goal as they look to get one before three-quarter time. No ruckman wins it down. Comes towards Sparks. Ball still in dispute. In comes Marinoni. Ball players, they let it play on. Gets it to Blake, is over to Marinoni. Puts him under pressure as Decky wraps him up. And the umpire will come in and throw the ball up. This time 45 metres out from Kojonup's goal. Hall wins it down, but he hits it straight to Marinoni. Just soccers it off the ground. In comes Taylor. Tries to handball, looking for another handball. But there's a nest of Deanmill players there. Now they've got it out. What can they do here? Over to Tempera. Tries to be a little bit cute with it. Umpire lets it go. And he'll come in directly in front of goal. 35 metres out. Kojonup's way. 8 points the margin. Deep into this third quarter. Now it's one out towards Cooper Sparks. Handball back out to Barber for Deanmill. Goes wide. Not the best looking kick. Over the top comes Blake East and makes a contest. Just chucks it onto his boot. In front is Demetrio. But he's wrapped up by Charlie Tonkin with a terrific tackle. Umpire, centre wing, far side of the ground. And they're earning their keep today. 9 goals, 862, the Hawks. 8 goals, 654. Jackson's there, Smith's there. In comes Jackson. Gets a handball out to O'Shea. That's got straight up and down. Hayden picks the ball up. Back to Smith. They're under pressure on the far side of the ground. In comes Bellotti. Comes off Smith's boot. Hayden's in best position. Handball to the skipper, Matthew Marinoni. He can go inboard and find Mitch Blake is still too far out to score. Got a player down wide. He's all loose on his own. And that's Kyron Hayden. And he'll go back from 40 metres out on a tight angle, looking for their second of the quarter and looking to reduce this margin back to 2 points. Already with a goal to his name, Kyron Hayden in the second quarter. This is a tougher kick. He ran into an open goal in that second quarter. A beautiful foot skills. Ex-North Melbourne listed player. In he comes now. Terrific kick of the footy. It's a deliberate shot on goal. It's going to go across the face. Over the top comes Taylor. Nearly takes the mark. In they come, the defence of Deanmill. The ball's rushed out of bounds. 10 metres out from Kojonup's goal. Had a clear run at it there, did Taylor. Probably too clear. Ball landed in his arms, but he couldn't get it on their second attempt. This time Matthew Marinoni's doing the ruck work. Decky uses his height. Knocks it towards Sparks. Terrific pickup off the ground. And he's been dealt with once again after he's kicked it. And Edgar takes the mark right on centre half back. Been called to play on now. He's going to come wide, looking for the skipper and East. And East takes the mark, centre wing. Had a good quarter, East, since he's moved up forward. Been called to play on now. He's going to drive the ball long, but he's just put it into a nest of Kojonup players. One of them's the coach. And Abbott takes the mark. Goes inside and finds Jamie Marinoni. Has Jackson out wide if he wants him. Uses him. He's got time, does Jackson. He'll drive the ball long. Does so. Puts it inside 50. Over the top came Matthew Marinoni. Harley Sparks picks it up. Drops it onto his boot. In front is Rawson. And Sparks has been dealt with once again. So he's drawing a crowd, but Rawson takes the chest mark. 35 seconds to go in this third quarter. Blake Rawson takes the mark. Has a player wide. uses him, and that's Blake East. Gleeson runs for him, uses him as well. Misses his target, but he has timed as Gleeson for Deanmill. Wills inside the middle of the ground, goes long. They have the numbers here. Decky's there. Over the back is Abbott. He's going to help his players out. Handball over towards Bellotti. Bellotti sees it over the boundary line. 10 seconds to go. Only chance of a score here is Deanmill's way with a clearance out of this throw-in. And they'll hold an 8-point lead going into the last quarter. Jackson comes over the top towards Hayden. Tries to get around over to Smith. He's tried to do too much. And the free kick's taken. And there's a siren. 3-quarter time. Things getting a little bit flared out there as the Sparks boys come in. But a 6-1 third quarter sees a 23-point deficit to the Hawks turn into an 8-point lead. 5 goals to the power forward in Strawn, 1 from Mark of the Day. No one's come close to that, 3-on-1, and 1 to Ethan Demetrio, who was terrific in that third quarter. The only goal scorer in the third quarter for Kojonup was Clancy Tonkin, with the 1. So 8 goals, 654 the Cougars, 9 goals, 862, 8-point lead to the Hawks with a final quarter to come. Well, welcome back to Ray Park and Manjimup. Terrific conditions for footy. And what a quarter by the Hawks. They went into the half-time break, 23 points down. Kojonup were all over them. But a 6-1 third quarter sees them take an 8-point lead into the last quarter. 9 goals, 862. 8 goals, 654. Courtesy of 5 goals from the power forward, Jordan Strawn. One of them from a terrific mark, outnumbered 3-1. And Kojonup had no answers. Ethan Demetrio was terrific. Probably had a hand in 3 or 4 of those goals in the third quarter. Blake East moved forward. Reeve moved on to Marinoni in the middle of the ground. Shut him down, Matthew that is. And all of a sudden they got some work forward. Hall got on top in the ruck. And the score started to come. The last quarter about underway. It's Hall and Ashton. Hall wins it down to Reeve. Could have been taken high. And the first clearance out of the middle will go the way of Joshua Reeve, the veteran. He's going to kick it straight down. Nearly kicks into the man on the mark. It's going to end up towards Rawson. Gets a handball over to Gleeson on his left boot. They're inside 50. Strawn's there. One grab. Out muscle by Abbott. Abbott's had to go back to Strawn. Good move by the coach. Ball still in play. Now it goes out of bounds. Be thrown in right in front of the Deanmill coach's box. Good move by the coach. That's going to be a terrific matchup. Could be the difference towards the end of the day. The Storm with 5 in that third quarter, 6 for the match. One down by Hall towards Brock Tempera. Rawson's there, does a handstand. It comes out to Marinoni, just chucks it onto his boot. Farquhar's there with Van Verhoosen. Farquhar brings it up, gets it over to Cooper Sparks. In comes Van Verhoosen and lays a terrific tackle as Sparks was about to get the opening shot on goal. Van Verhoosen plays on straight away and finds Jamie Marinoni. Has Van Verhoosen short if he wants him. Decides to go in the middle of the ground and on his knees the skipper. Matthew Marinoni takes the mark. No one's on him. It's an average looking kick, but they have the numbers. One of them is Tonkin. Just puts it onto his right boot, looking for Blakers. And across in front of him with a terrific spoil is Josh DeCampo. Knocks the ball out of bounds, 60 metres out from Kojonup's goal. Great mark there from Marinoni. No one was on him. He fell over and on his knees. Took a mark in front of his eyes. Played on straight away. Hall goes up. Ashton this time in front. Wins it straight down to Blakers. Just pops it onto his boot. Taylor's there with Brittany East. And so is the boundary line. And it crosses over the boundary line 30 metres out from Kojonup's goal. Hayden's moved forward. He has Nick Gleeson for company. Reeves still on Matthew Marinoni. O'Shea is on Harley Sparks. So some key matchups. Decky's been terrific at centre-half back. Now he has to do the ruck work. Uses his height. It comes over to O'Shea. Over to Pethick. He'll snap on his left boot. Taylor's there. Brittany East uses his experience. Gets the punch out. Van Verhoosen first to it. Has Farquhar. Gets pushed over the line. And the umpire sees it that way. Not sure what was happening there from Farquhar. Didn't have to do that as the ball nearly crossed over the boundary line. And Van Verhoosen, as I said a couple of weeks ago, I think I pronounce his name 10 different ways every time. He gets that much of the footy, but he was pretty funny about it. He's going to have a shot on goal, 35, 40 metres out, right on the boundary line. Wrong side for a left footer. Deliberate shot on goal. It's going to go right to the top of the square. Umpire's seen a free kick. It's going to go the way of Deanmill. And it's going to go the way of Rowan Barber. He's had a terrific game today, Barber. Under pressure. And Lucif gave away the free kick. Decides to go long. Hasn't got all of that. Smith in front position. Comes out to Harley Sparks. Tackled by O'Shea. Umpire said he threw that. And Kojonup faithful are pretty happy with that as O'Shea will have a shot on goal. 45 metres out, slight angle. This to reduce the margin to 2 points. That's been all down there in the last couple of minutes, early stage this last quarter. Margin still 8 points. In comes O'Shea, terrific player. Deliberate shot on goal, close to the man on the mark. He's made no mistake this time. O'Shea puts through his first of the day. And the opening goal of the last quarter goes away of the Cougars. Margin now just 2 points. 3 minutes into this last quarter. Terrific tackle by O'Shea. And from 40 metres out, still had to kick the goal, and he made no mistake. Every game I've watched him this year, he's been in their top 5. He's a terrific player. Been there a few years now. 9 goals, 660. 9 goals, 862. 2 points in front, the Cougars. Hall wins it down in the middle towards Reeve. He couldn't get a handle on it. Comes back to Ashton. Tries to kick on his left boot. Ball spills out to Farquhar. Handball over to Sparks. Sparks to Edgar. Edgar tries to get the handball to Tempera. Smith cuts it off. Tackled to Ashton. Ashton took too much time, and it lands in the arms of Harley Sparks. Strawn in front. Rawson's there. Rawson calls out. Cuts through the back. Blake Rawson has a shot on goal. 30 metres out. He's missed. Cut through 2 or 3 players of the Kojonup defence. It was going a bit too quick. And he's only pushed it through for a minor score. So 9 goals, 963. 3 points the margin now. Marinoni plays on. He'll go wide looking for the coach and finds him in front of Rawson. Strawn pushes Marinoni over. Just don't want to give away a 50. This game doesn't want to come down to that. Being called to play on now, Abbott. Right in front of the commentary box. Hayden in best position. Over the front comes Reeve. He affects the spoil. Gleason's there. In comes Hayden. Puts a bit of pressure on. And the ball goes out of bounds. Free kick will be taken by Pethick for the Cougars. Pethick just been told which way he has to go. He's a good young player as well. Being called to play on. Kicks it long. Right in front. Looking for Ashton. He's opposed there by Hall. Over the back comes Decky. Ball goes out of bounds. Right in front of the Kojonup bench. As all the Deanmill players just getting a little bit of advice. I'm sure it's complimentary. Ball's thrown in. Hall reaches over the top towards Sparks. It bounces towards Rawson. Beautiful looking kick. And he takes the mark in front of his eyes, Blake. He goes wide and finds Tempera. Still too far out to score. He's going to go long. Demetrio's pushed back. And Demetrio takes a mark in the goal square. And he'll go back to have Deanmill's opening shot on goal. 10 metres out. And this to extend the margin to 9 points. So Demetrio with 1 goal in that third quarter, set up 2 or 3 others. Shouldn't miss from here. In he comes now. Umpire straight over his hat. And Demetrio increases the margin to 9 points with Deanmill's first goal of the last quarter. 4.5 minutes in. Terrific kick. Demetrio pushed forward and then ran back. And basically took an uncontested chest mark in the goal square and made no mistake for his second. So he has 2. He's had a terrific second half so far. Margin now out to 9 points. 9 goals, 10 goals, 969. 9 goals, 660. Deanmill with a 9-point margin. Hall wins it down to Reeve. Handball over to Sparks. Sparks to Edgar. Drives Sparks to Harley Sparks. Down towards East. Bounces is in favour. Marinoni puts his head over the ball. Jamie. In comes Blake East. The umpire will come in and throw the ball up. Right on 50. Deanmill's way. 9 points in front. Jackson gets Hall out of the way. Chucks it onto his boot. Tonkin in front. Tries to pick the ball up. Lucifer, who's been quiet. Beaten by Barber. Barber drives it long. Strawn in front. In front of him, Abbott defects the spoil. And now Jamie Marinoni picks it up. He looks for Lucifer. It goes over his head. Bounces past him to Gleason. Gleason goes short and finds Tempera. Plays on straight away. Does Brock Tempera. Crosses. Doesn't get much of that. Rawson just waiting there to see what was going to happen. It lands in his chest. Blake Rawson from 30 doesn't waste any time. Umpire moves a fraction. Rawson puts through another. And the margin's now out to 15 points. I'm pretty confident Brock Tempera was having a shot on goal. Come off the inside of his boot. And lands in the arms of Blake Rawson. And Rawson made no mistake from 30 metres out directly in front. Margin now 15 points. 11 goals, 9.75 the Hawks. They've turned a 23-point half-time deficit into a 15-point margin, a lead. Early stages, last quarter. Hall wins it down again towards Sparks. Gets it back to Hall. Hall to Sparks. Over to Rawson. He's on fire at the moment. Comes towards Hayden. Tackled by Reed, but he gets a handball over to Jackson. Jackson just drives it long. In best position is Decky. And Decky takes a mark in front of Tonkin. He's got a player wide. That's Rawson. He's hot at the moment. No, it's Edgar. Edgar gets the bounce he wanted. Plenty of time looking for Strawn. Gets pushed under the ball by Abbott. Out the back to Green. Demetrio's there. Lays a tackle on. Blake East, the skipper. Holds the ball up. The ball goes out of bounds. Courtesy of Green for Cougars. Be thrown in right on 50 with Deanmill holding a 15-point lead. Favours Jackson. He wins it cleanly. Kicks it into the back of Marinoni. That's how good they're going at this stage. In comes Tempera. Marinoni, Jamie wraps him up. The ball will be thrown up. This time inside, forward 50 for Deanmill. 40 metres out. Hall gets a clean look at it. Comes to Van Verhoosen. He's heavily met. In they come now. Marinoni's there. Van Verhoosen's there. Umpire will come in and throw the ball up. 40 metres out. Directly in front of Deanmill's goal. 15 points up. No ruckman wins it down. It comes back to Jackson. Tied up by Brock Tempera. Umpire will do the job all over again. Jackson wins it down. Gets a good fist on it. Could have been taken without it. Comes over to Hayden. He's wrapped up by Brock Tempera. And it's Groundhog Day. Umpire 40 metres out from Deanmill's goal. Looking to extend this margin. Hall takes clean possession. Handball over to Tempera. Tries to get the handball towards Barber. Comes over to Taylor. He just chucks it onto his boot. Van Verhoosen's there. Nearly takes the mark. Wheels around onto his left boot. Has some support. One of them is Tonkin. Goes in the middle of the ground. The ball goes over Tempera's head. And Pethick. Decky's there. Tries to get the handball. Fames it. Goes looking and finds a skipper in Blake East. 55 metres out from goal. He'll look for Strawn. There's a player loose. It's Demetrio out the back. He'll snap on goal. No, he handballs over to Edgar. Edgar over to Strawn. Strawn, goal! Strawn kicks number 7 in mid-air. Chucks it onto his boot as he was about to be tackled. Demetrio to Edgar to Strawn. Goal. Margin 21 points. What a second half this has been by the Hawks. I didn't see this coming at half time. Kojonup had all the answers. But since half time, a few positional moves has made a big difference to the Hawks. Open up Strawn. Demetrio's been the link up going forward. And they found a way to be 21 points up. 12 and a half minutes to go in the last quarter. Hall wins it down again. Comes towards Reed. Back to Hall. Could have been tackled without it. Now his opposing ruckman Jackson picks it up. Handballs towards Weasel. Decky's there. Gleason's there to help. He'll wheeled out on the far side of the ground. Looking for Sam Tempera. Tempera works his player under the ball. It's Pethick for the Cougars. He has help in Cooper Sparks. Pethick needs to hold this ball up. Comes to Cooper Sparks. Could have been tackled without it. Now it spills to Kyron Hayden. Gets a handball over to O'Shea. Back to Marinoni. Oh, he's tackled by Sam Tempera. Just as he's about to kick the ball. And the umpire said you had prior. And Sam Tempera wins the ball back. Has Reeve out wide. And he finds him centre wing, far side of the ground with his team leading by 21 points. Still plenty of time left in this game. Goes short of the strong lead of East. But in front of him is Tonkin. And he takes the mark. Tonkin wields around into the middle of the ground. Looking there for Taylor. 2-1. Gleason's in front. Puts his body on the line. Spills out to Reeve. Handball over. Goes wide and finds Blake East. That was Brittany East with a kick. Still a little bit early to hold it up. They still need to score. Has players short if he wants them. Now he's been called to play on. Comes in the middle of the ground. and Decky's made himself available in the centre square. He'll go wide, not sure who he was looking for. Blotty's there for the Cougars, has time to steady, goes short, puts his player under pressure, and Marinoni, over the top of him comes Decky, and he takes the mark. Goes wide and finds Cooper Sparks. Sparks should look for Strawn. That's a beautiful looking kick, and it hits the ample chest of Jordan Strawn. So Strawn will have a shot from 48 metres out, going for goal number 8. Terrific third quarter by the power forward. 5 goals, 1 in the second, 1 so far in the fourth. And this to extend the margin to a game high 27 points. He'll just cross 50. Jordan Strawn. In he comes now. Just crosses 50. Good looking shot on goal. Has it got the distance? Oh, it goes through the hands of Blake East right on the goal line as Mackenzie Green come across in front and only through for a minor score. Marinoni plays on straight away. He's looking for Abbott, and why wouldn't you? He takes a terrific mark. Handball's on straight away towards Luciv. Luciv got a bit bemuddled in the middle of the ground. Didn't know who he was looking for, but it comes out to Jackson. Pethick picks it up. Back to Luciv. Mops up. Drives it long. Looking for Taylor. Brittany East is there. Gets Taylor under the ball. No Shepherd from DeCampo. East is there. And pushes it over the boundary line. 30 metres out from Kojonup's goal. And if they're going to make a play of it here, 9.5 minutes to go, they need a goal while it's down here. Only the 1 goal in the last quarter. That was to O'Shea. Decky takes clean position out of the ruck. Looks for his first cousin in Hall. Hall was held. And Hall takes the mark right in front of the commentary box. Centre wing. Just holding it up. Players are pushed back for Kojonup. Decides to go looking for Sparks. But in front of him is Crook. And he takes the overhead mark. Goes short in the middle of the ground. And finds Hayden in front of Kester Decky. He looks there for Blakers. Blakers goes underneath the ball. Spills out the back to Marinoni. Shot on goal from Marinoni. What's this done? Point. Made the goal umpire work. That was close. And Marinoni snapped on goal from 45. And it goes through for a minor score. So Sparks to bring the ball back in. Margin now 20 points. Comes in short, looking for DeCampo. Dangerous kick, plays on. Luciv tries to affect the tackle. Now he puts Reeve under pressure. Reeve puts Barber under pressure. In comes DeCampo. Handball out to Tempera. They have the numbers. One of them Bellotti. Another one O'Shea. One the Skipper. Skipper looks for Luciv. Misses his target. The ball goes out of bounds. 35 metres out from Kojonup's goal. A couple of errant handballs there by Deanmill's defence. Put everyone under pressure. Reeve, DeCampo, Barber. The ball's thrown in. Hall comes over the back. Wins it towards Ashton. Just snaps on goal. Ball in dispute. Van Verheusen's there. In comes Gleeson. After Rawson made the spoil. Just chucks it onto his boot. McGinty's back on the ground. Crook's there. Didn't know what to do with it. Tackles Edgar terrifically. No prior. Terrific tackle by Crook from Cougars, from the Kojonup Cougars. The ball be thrown up 60 metres out from their goal. Hall wins it down again towards Sparks. Knocks it forward. He's been dealt with once again after he got rid of it. Tempera plays on. That's Brock Tempera. He'll look for East. Green's having a bad day down there, but it's spilled out to Abbott. Abbott handballs to Clark. Clark back to Abbott. He comes down centre wing, and Smith has found some space right in front of the commentary box and takes the mark. Handballs to Van Verheusen. Van Verheusen gets onto his left boot. He'll look for Taylor. 2-1. Taylor comes over the back. It bounces towards Luciv. Luciv handballs to Taylor. Taylor steps on goal. It's all about the bounce. It bounces across the front of goal and hits the behind post. And the ball will be thrown in. Geez, you couldn't ask for a better bounce than that for Luciv. I don't think I got one of them my whole career. Handball over to Taylor. And he didn't get the bounce as he snapped on goal. Ball's thrown in. Tonkin pushes Decky under the ball. Handball's over towards Smith. Decky cuts it off. Then back to Sparks. Tries to do a little bit too much with it. O'Shea comes in and affects the spoil, spills to Reeve, just chucks it onto his left boot, but Crook's there. He'll have a shot on goal. It's all about the bounce this time, and this time it's gone through from Crook. I think he gave up on that as soon as it hit his boot. It wasn't the best looking kick, but Crook puts it through. He's had a pretty good game today, has Crook, Josh Crook. And from 50 metres out, it bounced 30 of those and went through for a goal. Margin down to 14 points. Still 7 minutes to go in this last quarter. 3 goals to the Hawks, 2 goals to Kojonup. 15 points to margin. 10 goals, 767. 12 goals, 1082. So they're close enough if they're good enough. Ruckman at it again. Ashton jumps high, wins the ball down. So you see the free kick. The free kick's been paid to Smith in the middle of the ground. Kyle Smith, terrific game. Plays on straight away. Has to. Running out of time. He's got Tonkin out the back. Across the front of him comes Decky. Weasel's there. Gleeson cuts it off. He's smothered. Comes towards Hayden. Being quiet. Wields around. Tries to get a handball over to O'Shea. Now they have the numbers. One of them is Sparks. Harley out to Cooper. Chucks it onto his boot and hits the chest of the last goal kicker in Crook. Drives it long. Looking for Smith. He goes over the top. Nearly takes the mark in front of Reeve. Could have been legged. In Reeve comes in again. And this time, unlucky Smith. The Kojonup crowd agree with that one. And the free kick's been paid to Reeve. And he finds Cooper Sparks. Has Gleeson running on the far side of the ground and finds him. Gleeson holds it up. Centre wing, 15 points to margin. He goes wide and finds Edgar in front of Luciv. There's still 3 kicks out from goal. Comes in board, dangerous kick, but it's a good kick and finds Farquhar. Got the numbers back now, Kojonup, forcing Deanmill to go short. Now they've gone wide. Tempera with a good lead in front of Marinoni. And Marinoni illegally pulls Tempera down, and Tempera Brock wins the free kick. 80 metres out from goal. So still 2 kicks out from goal. 10 goals, 767 the Cougars. 12 goals, 1082. 3 goals to 2 in this last quarter. The way of Deanmill. 5.5 minutes to go. A spot in the grand final up for grabs. Tempera's hurt on the far side of the ground. Brock Tempera. Not sure what's happened here. Looks like he might be a little bit concussed potentially. So a little bit of a hold up in the game. Should go off the ground. Tempera. Umpire trying to get him off the ground. So just a hold up. Still 5 minutes to go. 3 kicks to margin. We can't afford to give away a goal here, the Cougars. They've had some terrific duels this year. And that 23-point margin with 5 minutes to go, deficit at half-time is a 15-point lead. Time on in the last quarter. So Tempera makes his way off the ground, a little bit groggy. Let's hope for the best. Might have hit his head as he come down. Demetrio comes back on. What a second half he's had, Ethan Demetrio. Kicked a couple of goals and set up 2 or 3 himself. Decky's been huge down back. And those changes that were made at half-time, that's a feather in whoever's cap that is. Reeve in the middle. Blake East down forward. Ball's put inside 50. The mark is taken there by Hayden. Must have been touched as it come in. Play resumed. As my esteemed timekeeper, Angelo Femia, puts up the 5-minute warning. Ball's run out by Hall in the direction of Lee Luciv. In he comes. The Sparkses are drawing a crowd today. They're still a little bit frayed out there. Don't want to give away a free kick now or get a red card. That'd be a disaster for both teams. There's still a game of footy to be won. Ball will be thrown up. 20 metres out from Deanmill's goal. Ashton wins it down. Clear hit out. Reeves there. In comes Van Verhoeven. He's been terrific. misses his target in Ashton, and the ball goes out of bounds. 35 metres out from Deanmill's goal. Goes over the top of both ruckmen, lands in the arms of Reeve. He's tackled by Ashton. And the umpire, this time 40 metres out for goal, doesn't waste any time, gets it thrown up, comes out towards Kyron Hayden, just goes up and down. In they come now! Terrific mark taken, eyes on the ball, both players. Crook going for the ball as well. Oh, no mark given. I thought it was a mark. Great work by both players. Comes towards Edgar, tries to get the handball out, lands in the arms of Lucif, over to Strawn! And Strawn, after a smother, puts through goal number 8. And I think that's the game there. Deanmill have pretty much booked their place in the grand final. They push out to a 21-point lead. 13 goals, 10, 88. 10 goals, 7, 67. 4 goals to 2 in this last quarter. Strawn with a couple. Ethan Demetrio and Blake Rawson with one apiece. And Lachlan O'Shea and Josh Crook one apiece for the Cougars. Terrific effort and smother down there. Strawn playing in front. Put it onto his boot quickly. Made no mistake from 5 metres out. So not only can he take a mark and kick a goal, he just gets himself in the right position and made no mistake. With 4.5 minutes to go, Ashton wins it down towards Smith. Tries to go for the body and not the ball. Comes out to Sparks, but it's cut off by Hayden. He's got Sparks for company. Been tackled without it. Plays on straight away to Van Verhoosen. He goes long looking for Tonkin. Tonkin cuts in front. Second grab. Couldn't grab it. Comes over to Gleeson. He just drives the ball long. In best position is Marinoni. It bounces over his head and Farquhar's and goes out of bounds centre wing as the 4-minute signal's gone up. Might be a bridge too far for Kojonup this one. They get a second chance. Favours Ashton the throw in. Knocks it back towards Marinoni. Reeves there. Tries to lock the ball in. Now taps it out towards Sparks. But he's set upon by 3 or 4 Kojonup players. One of them the skipper. Marinoni boys in there. Is there a free kick in here? I think there is. Going back to the umpire. Centre wing. 21 points to margin, 23 points down at the half. Ashton wins it down, goes towards Harley Sparks. Jermaine Weasel's there, back to Harley Sparks. Handball's out to his brother. Reeve in best position. And the ball spills out in the tackle. And he thrown in centre wing. 3.5 minutes to go. Place in the grand final. Hall wins it down, been huge in this second half. Handball out from Barber to Sparks. Drives the ball long. East in best position. Crook tries to spoil, but can't. Handball comes out from East to Cooper Sparks. He'll have a shot on goal. Demetrio's there with Tonkin. Demetrio, 1 grab, 2 grab. Strawn! Misses everything from the top of the goal square. So the 2 power forwards, as good as they have been, they've had a little couple of comedy moments in the goal square. The ball goes out of bounds. Thrown in 15 metres out from Deanmill's goal. Strawn does the ruck work this time. Barber's pushed himself forward. Knocks the ball forward. Snap on goal! Rowie Barber! 15 metres out. He puts the icing on the cake and finishes what is a terrific game for him personally. Being huge down back. Push forward. Strawn won the ruck work. Barber found some space and he snapped truly from 10 metres. Margin now 27 points. 3 minutes to go. Deanmill will go through to the grand final and they'll await to see who they'll be playing as Kojonup will come up against Southerners next week down at home, down at Pemberton. They'll be disappointed with their second half, Kojonup. 23 points up. They were all over Deanmill in that first half, especially that second quarter. But the second half has been all Deanmill. Ashton wins clear, ruck work down, tries to knock it to himself, ends up with him, comes to Lucif, being quiet, handball over to Marinoni. Lucev's been dealt with after he got rid of the footy. Relay free kick will go the way of Matthew Marinoni, the skipper. Has Abbott out wide if he wants him. Blake is out wide towards us. He's have to go long now. Looking there for Smith. Goes over the top of Gleeson. Lands in the arms of Smith. Wheels around from 50. Good smother in there by Farquhar for Deanmill. Comes towards Decky. He's wrapped up by Abbott. Ball will be thrown up right on 50. 27 points the margin. 50-point turnaround in the second half. Comes towards Luciff. Handballs over towards Taylor. Misses his target. Brittany East is there. Done a good job on Taylor. Handball to Sparks. Back out to Rawson. Goes on the far side of the ground. Carries over the top of Edgar and Blake East. And the ball rushes out of bounds. Centre wing. 2 minutes to go. 27 points the margin. 11 goals in this second half to the Hawks. Terrific effort. Terrific half of footy. Spills out to McGinty. Been quiet. Had a tough time early on Taylor. Comes to Crook. Just chucks it onto his boot. But Gleeson's there right on 50. Takes the mark. He goes wide. Looking for Cooper Sparks. Lands at his feet. And he just lets it go over the boundary line in front of the scoreboard. That sees his team 27 points up. Just about end the game. 2 minutes to go. Just under. All doing the ruck work with Jackson. Jackson wins it out. Comes to East. Could have been taken high without it. Shot on goal from Lucem. It's going to land at the goal square. It's going to go through for a goal. So Lee Lucef gets his first for the game. A late goal to the Cougars. Their third of the quarter. And that come out of nowhere. Lucef's been quiet today. He gets himself on the scoreboard. Margin now 21 points. But time's going to beat him. 1.5 minutes to go in the second semi. Earlier games, Sunderland's got booked their place in the final. 11 goals 5 to 1 goals 8 over Tigers. The reserves, that was a tight game. 6 points. 8 goals 6 to 7 goals 8. Deanmill's way. And this one, 21 points the way of the Hawks. Decky once again. Jackson gets him out of the way. Just chucks it onto his boot. It's probably gone about 16 metres. Bellotti and Sam Tempera's there. One out by Abbott. Drives the ball long. Looking for Taylor. One grab, two grab. Brittany East gets rid of it on the third. Now he comes in. He could be in trouble here. Umpire said no prior. And throw the ball up right on 50. Kojonup's end. Have to regroup for next week. Jackson gets his player out of the way. Hall just chucks it onto his boot. Puts it up towards the top of the goal square. Decky comes across. Now Abbott. Abbott will run into an open goal, the coach. And 2 in a row to the Cougars. A little bit late. Terrific player, Abbott. Good contest there by Tonkin. Charlie Tonkin. No, it's Clancy Tonkin. And Abbott got himself front and centre, picked up the loose ball and ran into an open goal. Is there time? 1 minute to go. They need 3 goals. It'll be an outstanding 1 minute of footy. The margin now 15 points. That's Kojonup's way. They never give up without a fight. 11 goals, 7.79 the Cougars. 14 goals, 10.94 the Hawks. East now in the ruck. Wins it down. Goes over the top. Comes to Marinoni. Tackled by Reeve. Over to Rawson. Back to Jackson. Trying to wheel his team on. Just sockets it off the ground in the direction of Smith. Bounces up for him. He goes short and finds Blakers. Goes short looking for Taylor. Taylor on the ground takes a mark. Was close to hitting the ground, and Taylor, he'll have a shot on goal from 50. He's definitely got the leg, just cramping up a little bit, Taylor. He's going to go short, does go short, and he finds Luciv. And Luciv will have a shot on goal from 35 metres out, 45-degree angle. Not wasting any time, Lee Luciv, looking for his second of the last quarter. In he comes now, deliberate shot on goal. And it's snuck through for another one. So the margin's back down to 9 points. I don't think there's enough time. But they haven't given up without a fight. Luciv puts through his second of the last quarter. So 5 goals each in the last quarter. Margin now 9 points. But we're less than a minute to play. I don't think there's enough time for the Cougars to pull off a miraculous win here. But they're a terrific team. They'll be looking forward to bouncing back next week. East wins it down towards Marinoni. Edgar's there. Blake Easter's there. In they come. Oh, he's well tackled. And there's a siren. The Hawks, 23 points down at half time. Outstanding second half of footy. They've kicked 11 goals to 5. And they've won this game, and they are the first senior team, first league team to book their spot in the grand finals. They run out 9-point winners. 23 points down. We all thought up here that, you know, how far Kojonup, what could they do? They made a few positional changes. Strong was outstanding down forward with 8 goals. Demetrio's second half was outstanding for his first senior final. Ethan Demetrio with 2. Brittany East got the opening goal. Brock Tempner kicked one in the first half. Rawson and Rowan Barber iced the match. He had a terrific game today, Barber. And for the visitors, or for the Cougars, well, 4 to Harry Taylor, they all come in the first half. 1 to Mitch Blakers, Jermaine Weasel, Corin Hayden. Clancy Tonkin kicked 1. O'Shea 1, Crook 1, Lucif 2 in the last quarter, and Abbott 1 in the last quarter. So the Hawks have the week off. They'll look forward to seeing Southerners play Kojonup down at Pemberton next week to see who they meet in the league grand final. Tigers will play Deanmill and the Colts to see, and they will play Southerners, the winner of that game. And in the reserves, well, Lim's last 3 or 4 games have been outstanding. They'll take on Bridgetown in the reserves to see who plays Deanmill in the grand final. So, terrific game of footy. Thank our broadcast partners, Taliesin Lithium and Triple M Rocks Footy. Our cameraman, Cameron, that gets me every time. Our esteemed and our legend of Tigers, Angelo Femia, on the time clock. Outstanding job, but what a game of footy. Played in 2 halves. Kojonup absolutely on top in the first half. Deanmill's second half was outstanding. Strawn was superb up forward. Mark of the day goes to Strawn. He was terrific, but well led, great coaching, and a great game of footy and a real showcase for Lower South West footy. We look forward to next week where we pick up, and Southerners will give themselves every chance against a highly fancied Kojonup. We look forward to everyone joining us next week. Thank you.